Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Morin Reifenberg here again. This is live stream number 40, as far as I know. And yeah, as the header states, as the header or the description states specifically, I'll be discussing rock music primarily. That's the subject that I'm gonna begin with. And for the rest, it's just going to be miscellaneous topics. Before I begin, I'd like to say a pleasant Sunday in advance to everyone. Elber Galargas, the first one to comment, says nice hello to you too. So again, pleasant Sunday to all of you out there. Today is September the 1st. It's 9:15 a.m. in my location. And yeah, the weather is beautiful right now, not too warm, not too cold. So yeah, let's continue. Let's begin. Um, yeah, and before I continue, I just want to point out that I'm not bashing on. In advance, I'd like to say that I'm not dissing anyone that loves rock music. I'm not insulting anyone that has a problem with rock music because I've listened to rock music extensively. I'm simply going to discuss rock music and potentially every other kind of music out there. And we're simply going to look at things from an astral perspective. So, yeah, let's begin. Or let me begin. Long story short, rock music. I personally am not a fan of rock music. I've listened to rock music extensively in the past, and with the exception of a few rock songs that I like, for example, one or two songs by Nickelback, for example, Rockstar, How You Remind Me, and so on. I want nothing to do with rock music as well as their followers because I know what they're like. And long story short, rock music. In terms of its followers, these people remind me a lot of people that are interested in the occult, and more often than not, people that have an interest in the occult also have an interest in rock music or related, and vice versa. But yeah, let's face fact: people that generally speaking of it listen to rock music are not the most successful of people, to say the least. These people, generally speaking, have a good deal of problems in their lives. Okay, problems of often of an astral, psychological nature, of a mental, astral, or psychological nature. Basically, psychological and astral in this context are one and the same. And and yeah, these people aren't doing well. I mean, just name one successful rocker, or name one not a rocker. Name one successful person that listens to rock music extensively. Someone that is mentally, emotionally, and astrally stable, spiritually stable, someone that has a good job, someone that has forged, if you will, a pretty good life for himself or herself. No, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. The average person that listens to rock music is someone that has no purpose in life, no direction. We're talking about people that really listen to rock music exclusively and extensively. People that aren't doing well in life. More often than not, they're broke, they're dead broke, they have immense financial trouble, and it just goes on. Code 919 has come online. Hello to you too, Code 919. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, so these people are not doing well. I know because I've listened to rock music extensively, and I used to have rocker friends. I used to have, and this was what, before I even became a successful occultist, 2010, 2012. This was fucking, say, ages ago, okay, a decade ago. And it's all the same with these people. They're parasites, they're leeches. They remind me of people that deal in the occult. They have a superficial, they have a superficial interest in the occult too. People that generally speaking listen to rock music, but again, it doesn't even come close to anything worth mentioning. And again, like I said, these people are often also called known as wrist cutters because they love to cut their wrists, and they do so simply because they want to evade or escape the psychological pain that they're feeling. It doesn't matter where that pain comes from. They have a good deal of problems in their lives, either of a domestic nature or of an external nature. But bottom line is that they're hurting inside. They feel astral pain, they feel spiritual pain, and they simply cut themselves because they want to escape said pain. And basically, physical pain is like a distraction, and that's why they cut themselves. And yeah, you can see for yourself. Okay, anyone that wants to prove me wrong, or anyone that wants to say something, can is more than welcome to comment in the comment section or whatever. Okay, just prove me wrong. I know this. Okay, I've listened to rock music too, and it's the same thing. Okay, all the things that I've discussed just now, that's what rockers basically put, rock artists put in their albums and their songs. It's basically it's music made for people like that, by people like that. How many frontmen or band members of rock bands haven't killed themselves? I mean, almost the second. I think I can't even go. I can't even read a rock magazine or see anything rock related without one frontman at least killing himself. Killing themselves. It's just the same thing over and over again. It just goes to show you that people that listen to rock music and the so-called rock community as a whole globally is one that really needs psychological or mental help. And I don't even think that mental help from a psychologist or psychiatrist will help. Again, I'm not dissing any rockers here or any person that enjoys rock music or listens to rock music. Even if you listen to rock music, it doesn't have to necessarily mean that you fall within this category. This is a broad generalization, and the majority of people, unfortunately, that have an interest in rock music and that listen to it extensively, the majority of these people suffer from the things that I've suffered from. Okay, long story short is that they're psychotic or they're extremely psychologically damned individuals that often lead lives that aren't worth mentioning. They're bottom feeding parasites. You name it. I can't think of a single one that's successful, one that is mentally and physically stable, or more so mentally or psychologically stable rather than the physical, that has a good job, that has a purpose in life, that knows where he or she is going. Now, the majority of them are lost, severely psychologically damned individuals that literally just drift through life completely confused mentally, have no idea where they're going, what their life purpose is. They work their own jobs more often than not, jobs where you have no future. They still live with their parents even at an older age. They're just worthless losers in general. That's what rockers are like, people that listen to rock music. I'm just going to hop on over to the chat section. Elvir Galarga says I got introduced to the occult because of a rock song. Avantasia dying for an angel. Code 19 says metal sounds better. And hello, Moreno. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How often? So surreal. Code 19 says to Elvir Galarga, Avantasia dying for an angel is basically showing what happens when you do a love spell on a woman. Oh, so yeah, all good notable examples. So I mean, the problem is I remember this was years ago, maybe 15 years ago when I was still a teenager. I I I how should I put this? I wasn't knowledgeable on the internet back then, and I my interest veered to heavy metal because I'm not a rocker. Ew, no, I'm not a rocker. I mean, me cutting myself, not gonna happen, not in a million years. Okay, me literally just putting my own body. I love myself too much to put my body through something like that. Okay, cutting myself or simply injecting a syringe in myself. I only do so if my life depended on it or similar. In any case, when I was, let's just say this was what? Let's just say in the 2000s, when 2000 started, how old was I? I was a teenager. I was like what, 15 years or something, 16 years. And I wasn't knowledgeable on the internet. It's work less than nothing Suriname I live in. So yeah, the internet back then wasn't even a big thing or even a thing. And I simply wasn't knowledgeable on it, specifically on how to download albums and so on. And I wanted heavy metal, but I unfortunately had to make do with I had to make do with rock music, unfortunately, because I could only buy CDs and whatnot, and so I listened to mainstream bands like Linkin Park, you name it, Cradle of Filth. Cradle of Filth to me isn't heavy metal; it's a wannabe version of a heavy metal band. I'm not insulting any Cradle of Filth fans either, but it's just rock. That's not heavy metal. You name it, bands like that, and. And I just bought CDs, Linkin Park's first album, after that, what, it was Hybrid Theory. I still remember it, holy crap, even after, I think, 2 decades, I still remember Linkin Park's first album, Hybrid Theory, and it just went on from there, you name it. Nickelback, their first album, Silver Side Up, the album with This Is How You Remind Me. That's still a nice song, even if I still hear it. I'm not gonna actively download it, but it's nice hearing, for example, a song like that after so many years. And yeah, that's what I mean. I just, you know, I just went over it, and I listened to rock music extensively. And back then, for me, it was the same deal. A good deal of a good couple of things that apply to the average rocker, with the exception of cutting yourself or actively trying to commit suicide, did not apply to me. No. I simply listened to rock music by necessity, and I had rocker friends, and I could tell that they were, absent-minded. You name it, a bunch of problems. You could just crudely put, you could immediately tell that they were just fucking insane. They weren't right in the head. That they lack life purpose. It's almost like you're talking to an inanimate object. It's like they have no. It's like they have no soul, if you will. Specifically, the people that I was friends with, they were sometimes in a bad mood or an indifferent mood. They just seemed confused overall mentally, or they were confused. And yeah, for me, the same things applied. Back then, I was also lost, like I've mentioned in one or two other live streams. I also felt lost. I had no life purpose. I had still had shitloads of black magic and negative energy tormenting me. So I also worked a dead end job. Most of the things that I mentioned before as so-called symptoms or traits by which to recognize a rocker also applied to me, with the exception of the fact that I have never cut my wrist or any other part of my body just because I wanted the astral pressure on me. I wanted relief from the astral pressure on me or similar. No, 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 I'm not having any of that. And that's why I listen to rock music. And after I became knowledgeable on how to download my own albums and how to literally just go online and find and download my own music, then yeah, it was long over. Okay, heavy metal always appealed to me, but like I said too, it appealed to me for plain occult reasons. Specifically occult black metal is what I love listening to. It appealed to me for the rage and the anger that I felt inside. I was just all that pressure put me in a really bad mood astrally, and that's why heavy metal appealed to me for its intensity, and it just spoke to me. That's it. And of course, now I still have a good collection of heavy metal albums, but I just don't. I just don't listen to it anymore because it doesn't appeal to me for obvious reasons. Again, okay, I have an actual living standard now, and I am at peak power and performance. So this kind of music just doesn't appeal to me. I listen more to happy music. Not that I listen to any music, but if I want to play music in the background, it's more happy music. It's like electronic music or dance music, things like that. For example, Calvin Harris, Sam Smith, you name it, music like that. I don't really listen to music anymore, but this is just an example. Quote, Anandin says he wasn't knowledgeable on the internet back then. No, I wasn't knowledgeable on it back then. The thing is that I wasn't knowledgeable specifically on, let me not say the internet. Let's say I wasn't knowledgeable, like I said previously, on how to find music and how to download it. And without that, I couldn't do anything. Because back then, I didn't even have, as a teenager, I didn't even have a computer at home. Come on, we're talking about the early 2000s. This is literally centuries ago, and it's work less than nothing Suriname. So what do you expect? Um Codenadin says, would you rent it or buy it? I would simply buy CDs, okay? I could buy CDs. They have no soul. Your favorite band, heavy metal wise, my favorite band. There are so many. I still have all of these. I still have all of my favorite albums. I'm never gonna delete them. It's nice hearing it once in a while, but I notice if I listen to it, I can't listen to it longer than 5 minutes because it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. I mean, I still love heavy metal, but I love it in theory. But listening to it anymore, it just doesn't fit with my state of mind and my mood. Now I'm in an incredibly ascended and elevated state of mind, so I prefer feel good music. If I hear music in the background, and heavy metal doesn't fit within that context. But if I had to list of my favorite band, it's really hard because I have no favorite bands. All of them are great. But if I had to throw a name out there, I'd say to myself, I mean, I've got so many. Gotor, Anal Natrak, Blood of Kingu is also one of them. The Blood of Kingu disbanded. I especially love their first album, Sun in the House of the Scorpion. It was incredibly occult laden. And it just goes on. Code 19 says if you cut yourself for just a slight astral pressure, you're not worth anything. Yeah, I agree. As you become more ascendant and elevated, your interests change. And Code 19 says that's true. Yes, of course, all of this is true. I also be used to be really into horror movies. We're talking about movies in which people suffered and shit. Again, all of this stuff reflects how I felt, and now not the case anymore. That doesn't mean that I only want to watch comedy and music where everyone's happy, or movies in which everyone's happy. I still love horror movies, but different. I can still watch a slasher movie or a movie in which people suffer, like Saw and so on, but it's different. I simply have an objective view on it. I have a light view on it, as in a comical view on it, just a laid back viewpoint, if you will. But before that, I listened, I watched. I mean, in the time period that I'm referring to, um, I watched horror movies that basically radiated depression or anger and so on. And it's simply the movies that I watched reflected my state of mind and my thought frame or frame of thought. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Whereas now, I can still watch a horror movie or so, but I simply watch it. Yeah, how do I put it? How do I put this? I simply watch it in an upbeat fashion. Code 19 says you're ascended to a level to see that certain deformed human show. What do you mean? That certain deformed human show. And yeah, in any case, this is simply an example that I wanted to throw out there. And also, pretty much an occult reference, okay? Your state of mind, your interests at a certain point, or not at a certain point, your interests in a general way, or generally speaking, reflect your state of mind. Someone that, generally speaking, is overall content with his or her life and is happy will not listen to the music that I described just now. I'm not talking about rock music or heavy metal. More often than not, will not listen to music that is classified within one of those two genres. No. I mean, now I still love heavy metal, but I just can't listen to it anymore. I mean, I still have a couple of albums of bands that you really need a strong stomach to listen to these kind of bands. I mean, it's like your soul is being stomped on. I remember sometimes just for laughs, I made people that don't even listen to heavy metal and that haven't even, the permanent sort of them, the people that are so worthless and so stupid that up until I think 10 years ago, they didn't even know what heavy metal was. And when they first heard it, you had all kinds of things. Most of these stupid Negroes and whatnot. They immediately said, okay, this music is for people that are insane. The basic, uneducated, ignorant, biased opinions you hear on heavy metal. This is music for fucking people that for people that are fucking insane. No normal person listens to this kind of music. You name it. And just for laughs, sometimes I'd have them listen to heavy metal and so on. And you should just see their eyes. They immediately go insane in the sense of, "Mm, mm, mm. Why is that guy yelling? Like, why is he yelling so much? I mean, even now, that stupid cab driver that I used to drive around with, every now and then I made him listen to heavy metal. I used to play Goat Whore for him or something. You should see him while he's driving the car. He's driving me to wherever I want to go. And I was like, do you want to listen to what kind of music I listen to? What I used to listen to in any case. And he was just like, oh, I mean, you should see him. I mean, he's driving and he's literally like this while the music plays in the background. I mean, he is so tense. It's immediately like his entire shoulders become tense and he tenses up. It's like he's on the verge of dying. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop. I don't want you to crash the car, so I'm going to stop. And he's just like, no. He's just like, I don't know how you listen to this. Holy shit. I also remember back when I was a security guard that I shared songs with a couple of colleagues, and they were talking about it around. They were talking about it with each other in front of me, and one of them said, "Nah, the music that Ravenberg listens to, you have to be fucking stone cold high. I have no idea what kind of weed you need to smoke, but it has to be something ridiculously potent if you want to be able to listen to the music that he listens to. Otherwise, you're gonna die." I tried listening to it, but I just can't. I feel like I'm gonna drop dead. You name it. For the rest, I still have a good deal of other albums. I mean, really stuff that sounds so evil. Vader, Impressions of Blood. I don't know, Code 19 if you know it. Vader is a Polish death metal band, and I especially like Vader's vocalist. The guy has such a nice heavy vocal set. He has a nice heavy voice. You name it. I have a bunch of these albums. Okay, I have a bunch of really top-notch heavy metal albums, but I don't listen to it anymore. Um my ringtone is still set at Goat Whore, but the only reason I set my cell phone's ringtone to Goat Whore is because I want something that immediately, captures my attention, and so on. And yeah, the second someone hears my ringtone, it's like, oh. I remember the second that cab driver heard my ringtone whenever someone called me, he was like, "Holy shit!" I mean, that really gets your attention. It doesn't matter how distracted you are. Yeah, this is my ringtone. It's Goat Horse Alchemy of the Black Sun Cult. So yeah, that's what I use. That's what I. This is one of my favorite bands, arguably one of my favorite band. And yeah, that's what I used to listen to intensely. I think 10 years ago you'd catch me with headphones constantly in my ears. It doesn't matter where you'd see me, I'd have headphones. Spinosaurus says hello. Well, since we were talking about weed, I got so high yesterday. Good for you, Spinosaurus. No, what are things in Romania? Quote Nanantine is laughing, 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 laughing. The music that Ravenberg listens to, you have to be stone cold high, you're laughing. LMAO, imagine that song playing outside in a restaurant or something. I can already see the reactions. Yeah, I used to get those reactions. I also still have, let me see, I also have Gorgorod. I think a couple of you guys that listen to Gorgorod, you guys, that used to be my ringtone too. There is a Euthanasia. They have an album called A Euthanasia Music Library. Let's see if I have it on my Gorgorod. Nah, let me see if I still have it on my thing. Spinosaurus is good. Good to see that you're enjoying Goat Horse Spinosaurus. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, you piece of crap. Oh no, I deleted pretty much every heavy album thingy from my every heavy metal album off of my cell phone. Hold on, I can still look it up on YouTube. Gorgoroth. Uh, you fucking. You have to excuse me for a second, you guys. I just don't. I just want you guys to listen to. I just want to play this song. I still have it, and that cab driver really liked it because it immediately draws his attention. Oh, oh yeah. Now I have it. Yeah. This is how it begins. This is I used to have this as my ringtone, and it just immediately made him go like the way it begins. This used to be my ringtone, and so whenever someone called me, you'd hear really loud, "Ooh, ooh." And it just made me laugh so much when people really were really startled. People, what the fuck is that? Yeah, that was also one of my favorite albums. And in any case, yeah, your state of mind, your mental health, pretty much reflects your interest, and vice versa. That's what I'm getting at. So that means that if you're again, this is a generalization. Doesn't mean that every person that listens to rock music or heavy metal that something's wrong with them. No, no, no. Especially not heavy metal. Heavy metal is a different chapter altogether. But rock music specifically, and so on. Uh, People that generally speaking listen to rock music are bottom feeding parasites that suffer from severe psychological disorders and are just overall losers in life. They have no life purpose and whatnot. They lead dark lives, okay, lives of misery and suffering, generally speaking. It's a generalization overall, and from an occult perspective, as well as from a neutral perspective, it's important to keep in mind that your interests reflect your state of mind, your mental state of mind. If you're corrupted at an emotional level or spiritual level, astrally, mentally, you name it, then you will see or you will notice that you will notice, okay, if you're self-aware enough, then you'll notice that no. Okay, the music I'm listening to, the movies that I'm interested in, the things that you do generally for fun and entertainment are they immediately tell you what kind of person you are. I was self-aware of it. I remember I placed in an old Facebook post years ago that I just didn't feel to. I used to listen to a lot heavier stuff, okay, but I just at a certain point I didn't feel like listening to it anymore. Back then I could stomach it because I also felt that same way. There's an artist called Dotsfer. There's also a thing called depressive black metal. It's heavy metal that's really you have to be really in one fucked up state of mind to listen to depressive black metal. You've got suicidal black metal. The names already speak for themselves. It's just agonizing, okay, to listen to stuff like that. And I remember I used to listen to this artist called Dotsford, uh, and it was very misanthropic in nature. You know, fuck life, fuck existence, things like that. Those were that's what the lyrical that was what was included or what was included in the lyrical content, and I just I listened to that music because that's the way I felt. I felt really misanthropic, etc. And after a certain while, you know, my occult work elevated me. And once I shed that negativity, all of that negative energy that corrupted me, I just, uh, I just felt, I just couldn't listen to that kind of music anymore. I just couldn't stomach it anymore. I just could not stomach it anymore. And that's just an example to give you, viewers, in terms of understanding. Quote na natin sa what kind of music do you listen usually to these days? This is the kind of music I listen to. The difference you can see for yourself is you'll hear for yourself in a second. How stark the difference is. Uh, this is the kind of music I listen to nowadays. I don't really listen to it, but just for background music. Tripping on me, went on my way. I've been alright, I've been like good, I've been okay. You wanna go, already know, fly like a J. Baby, it's fine, scary times if you wait. I guess today I really stopped caring. Enough. Yeah, so now you have an idea, a general idea. Spinosaurus says, I know this is off topic, but is it possible to create an egregore to help me in astral projection? Yes, it is. But Code 19 already answered you. Code 19 says, LOL, that immediately gets attention. People will literally get terrified. You could get funny reactions out of it. Sounds like fun. You are who you admire, Moreno. You are not your old depressed self anymore. That's why you don't like those songs anymore. Yeah, exactly. You have to be really fucked up in your mind to listen to that kind of shit. Code 19 says, this sounds more pleasant, very different. Yeah, my point exactly. These are the kinds of songs that I listen to now. You name it. I still love heavy metal, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. I listen to music now that is not really listen to it, but so to speak. I listen to music that's just different. I just listen to music that is. Let me see. Yeah, this is another example. No. I wanna fuck you slow with the lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on. You the only one I got my sights on, sights on, sights on, sights on. Type of sex you can never put a price on, price on, price on, price on. I take it off, you're the one I roll the dice on, dice on, dice on, dice on. And I just want a baby with the right one. So yeah, that's different. That's what you'll find on my cell phone now, as opposed to back then. Back then, you'd find. I mean, you you'd find stuff that's just terrifying. Okay, you just find whoa, 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 whoa. Those are the kind of things that you'd find. Um, Hold on, let me see. These are the kind of songs that you'd find. That's what you'd find, and yeah, you can compare it for yourself. Okay, the difference. Code 19 is very different. You're in a much more higher state, vibratory state. That's evident. These songs have good vibes. Code 19 says, "LOL, these songs terrify the fuck out of people." Yeah, definitely. That song by an artist called Vader is called Hallelujah. God is dead. That speaks for itself. Okay. I mean, really, I used to listen. I still have some really terrifying stuff that will shock you to your core. I remember I also I used to have a friend in Jamaica, and I sent him a song, and I told him, listen to this. It's one of the darkest albums that you'll have. It's by a Swedish band, I think, called Nagelfar. That's spelled Naglfar, and I still have this album. Where are you, Nagelfar? I still have most of their albums. It's called Harvest. Was released in 2007. And I think, I mean, again, this has to be one of the darkest albums I've listened to. You've got just listen to some of the song titles: "The Mirrors of My Soul," "Into the Black," "The Darkest Road," "Way of the Rope," "Feeding Moloch." I mean, these are really dark things. Okay, "The Way of the Rope" is about suicide. That's why it's called "The Way of the Rope," as in hanging. And the mirrors of my soul stand for the mirrors of one's soul, reflecting one's soul, which is dark and black. Wait a minute. I need to let you listen at least to one of these songs. I remember I sent it to a friend of mine, right? And that friend of mine in Jamaica that I used to have years ago. And he was like, I can literally feel it blackening my soul. I feel myself turning black from the inside. Yeah, just listen to it. Ah, yeah, I still feel nostalgic when I listen to this because this is still a good album. I can still admire its darkness. Yeah, some people can't even make sense of what these artists are saying, especially stupid thunderheads that aren't even knowledgeable on music. So they're asking me, how the fuck do you even understand what they're saying, what the artist is saying, or what the vocalist is saying? I don't know, I just can. Yeah, because you're used to it. I can't understand a single thing what he's saying. Okay, that's how the song begins. What is wrong? What is right? I worship the night. Into the darkness I wander. You name it. Song is about suicide. So yeah, you can imagine. I mean, it's really. Mm-mm. I think I once made a guy listen. The guy was the happy-go-lucky kind of imbecile, delusional guy kind of guy. And I told him listen to the entire song. And to listen to the entire song. He listened to the entire song, and afterwards he was like this. He was just depressed for the rest of the day, and I found it so amusing. I was like, I'm literally just I'm gonna ruin your entire day. That's for sure. And he was just the song just had such a shocking effect on him that it just completely paralyzed him, and for the rest of the day, and he was in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Yeah, but in any case, yeah, that's the point too. Okay, your state of mind will reflect who you are as a whole, and your interests therefore too. uh, Everything you do, from the activities that you do to the music you listen to, movies you watch, things that you generally do for leisure. And again, for me, it was the same thing back then. Who was I back then? I was pretty much no one. I mean, I had a good legitimate reason, but I was no one. I had nothing worth. I had nothing worth attributing to my life. I I had nothing worth attributing to my life. I just had nothing. I lived in a one bedroom apartment. I worked a dead end job. I was a broken excuse for a shell of a man. I looked like shit and I felt like shit. I just had nothing, honestly. I was nothing, but I am strong enough to admit that. That's one of the very reasons that I am here, because I openly told myself at a certain point that hey, no, I'm useless. I'm worthless. I'm just as worthless as those stupid wannabe occultists that just talk about each other and try to berate each other online in countless occult groups. And I just undid myself of all of that negativity. Oh, let me see. And aside from that, I'd also like to remind people that like I said, it's not just talking about music, specifically rock music, and its negative effects as well as one state of mind. It's not all the stream is about. So the stream is also about miscellaneous questions or inquiries if one person has miscellaneous questions or inquiries. I'm not just going to stick to one topic because it's not a topic that I can talk about a lot. No. For the rest, I'm assuming that most people out there are having a busy Sunday. They're just busy or they're otherwise occupied. You've got people that are at work even on this day. Uh, just checking for a second. One person I'm not seeing online is Gregory M. Yeah. Yeah. He's most likely otherwise occupied or something. It's afternoon in Canada, I think. Yeah. So yeah. Spinosaurus says, "Well, I'm free today, but in 2 weeks, high school starts again." Okay. How old are you, Spinosaurus, if you don't mind me asking? 16, you'll be 17 in September. Okay. Wow, you're still relatively young then. I mean, I'm twice your age. And for me, I'll be 34 in the end of September. Uh, yeah, I'll be 34 in the end of September. Okay. Not that age matters, of course, but occult wise, if you don't mind me asking, okay, Grandpa, that's a good one. If you don't mind me asking, and this also goes for you, Code 919, what, where do you see you guys, where do you guys see yourselves occult wise? What are your occult ambitions, if you will? Code 919 says net disconnected. What disconnected? Net disconnected? What the hell do you mean that net disconnected? Oh. Code 919 says, "How did you find these bands? You research heavy metal pretty well back then." Code 919 says, "Internet connected, disconnected from my side, Morino." Oh, okay, okay. Um, okay. Um, so yeah, Code 919, in case you missed the questions, what are your cult ambitions? Same for you, Spinosaurus. Where do you see yourself occult-wise? Spinosaurus says, "Well, I want to become the best I can and to manifest the best life possible." Okay, but you'll admit that you still have a buttload or a shitload of work to do, of course. And as for your question, Code 919, how I found these bands, yeah, I went and looked them up online. Yeah, I researched it. To say that I researched it pretty well back then is an understatement. I mean, Spinosaurus says, yeah, in relation to my earlier question um, or statement, I was, I had specific websites I went to for heavy metal albums, you name it. I still have one of them bookmarked on my computer, but I rarely even use it anymore. You name it. To say that I researched it was an understatement. I had so many albums. I mean, back when I learned how to download music and how to download effectively, I think I didn't have a computer in my house until I was what? A computer with internet connected to it. I didn't have it until 2012 or 13. So it's only 6 years ago. Okay, before that, I did have a computer, a desktop computer, but no internet, no internet connection. Homer Simpson says hello, hello, Homer Simpson. So yeah, I literally had a lot of albums, a lot to catch up upon, and I simply downloaded hundreds upon hundreds of albums that were just top notch, and I just listened to all of them. Music was one of the primary things I listened to. Okay, really one of the primary things I listened to. That's just what, like I said, if you had seen me, Code 919, and the rest, then um, I If you had seen me, then you'd notice that I think 9 out of 10 times that you'd see me across the street or over the street on the road, I'd have headphones in my, I'd have headphones or earbuds plugged into my ears. Uh, Spinosaurus as well. My life is very good right now, but I would like to create my own business. I have a pretty good business idea. What kind of business do you want to create? What line of work? Cool. Nanatin says that's an interesting question. Morino, I don't want to be a professional occultist personally. Rather that I want to take help from a professional like you to improve my life. Okay, that's crazy. Earbuds with heavy metal. Yeah, I remember back when I listened to heavy metal, earbuds were the best choice. Not in-ear headphones. I do have in-ear headphones now, but one of them has difficulty staying in my ear, which I don't like. I also don't like the fact that it's pressed up right next to your eardrums. It's not necessary. Um, and I don't like wearing those huge headphones, those studio headphones. No, 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 no. Those are ugly. I need something that's lightweight and flexible, or I want something that's lightweight and flexible. Um, Nokia earphones. Now, I remember Sony. Sony was my brand of choice. Sony earbuds. Right now, I just have the headphones that came with my Samsung Galaxy A8 cell phone when I bought it. These. I don't like the fact that it's in ears. You're supposed to put it in your ear, and I don't like it. Uh, Spinosaurus as well. I would like to start a business with CBD. No one did it here in Romania. What's CBD? Cannabidiol. So you want to start a legal pharmaceutical clinic or pharmaceutical company? Spinosaurus says it's a substance from cannabis, but it does not get you high, something like that. Oh wow, you're really into getting high and just legal drugs altogether. It heals. Okay, so that would fall under what's it called again? What's it called again, damn it? Just herbal drugs or herbal substances that have so-called healing properties and other general well-being properties are called what the hell are they called again, damn it? Mm, um, damn it, man! I forgot what the name is. It's not alternative treatments. Naturistically alternative treatments. Fuck it. I can't come up with a name. Holistic. Thank you, Spinosaurus. Damn it. Fucking name wouldn't pop up in my head. Holistic treatments. Yeah, exactly. Holistics. CBD can help with cancer, Alzheimer's, and pain. Holistic. Okay. Yeah. No, that's okay. That's a fairly realistic idea. If you want to start your own business, but it's a basic thing of all businesses. You need to check up if to see what qualifications you need in Romania, assuming that you're going to launch it in Romania, and maybe I don't know. It all depends on how ambitious you are. You want to expand to the rest of Europe. You need to check competition. You need to check whether you need to be registered at your local chamber of commerce. Just basic business 101 things that need to be taken care of. Oh yeah, Spinosaurus as well in Romania. No one did it. Yeah, I know. You already mentioned that. I understand. So you have little to no competition, really. But again, still basic things. You'll need startup money, investment money. You'll need to study the market to see if there isn't a thingy present, to see if there is if there is a market present, are people gonna buy your stuff, and the best way to go about everything. And my dad can teach me since he's also a businessman. We have a pretty good amount of money. No, that's great. Okay, so you've got a head start, to be honest. Good for you. Uh, Sony Ericsson is crazy back then. Code 19 says, yeah, I remember Motorola too, but not anymore. Where do you see yourself in the future, Morino? Code 19. Honestly, in detail, I have no idea. I'm a bit torn. On the one hand, I will. On the one hand, I've already told you guys that I'm done, so no more new projects and so on. But on the other hand, the potential profit from future projects, especially with my newly attained power, I'll be expanding an article on that in the future. Um, it's interesting. I had a bucket list of things that I wanted to do projects, but again, on the one hand, on the one hand, the profit from these projects would be so incredible if everything goes well and if successful. But on the other hand, I already said that I'm done. Okay, otherwise I'm just gonna keep going and going and going and doing project after project, committing project after project, and I just don't want to. I want to enjoy myself and enjoy the life that I've worked so hard for to attain, and everything that I've worked so hard for to attain. So I don't know. I'm in between those two things. On the one hand, I'm torn in between picking up new projects and basically publicizing or telling you guys via my YouTube channel that I'm back again. But on the other hand, I just want to leave things buried and I just want to enjoy myself and just take it easy, if you will. Otherwise, I'm going to continue with new projects until I'm fucking 80 years old, and I don't want that. I had really heavy handed projects in mind. And Code 19 says, that's great. If you keep picking up new projects, will there be an end? That's the point. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going and going. I've already covered so many fucking things. Code 19 says it's a CBD market relevant at your region or location. Spinosaurus as well. And right now, I think it would work. But in the future, it's going to be very good. Problem in Romania is that there are a lot of old stupid people, and when they hear the word cannabis, they want to hang you. Yeah, I know people that are prudish to the extent that they see drugs as being evil. Yeah, I know what you mean. Old-fashioned people that are archaically old-fashioned, even. So yeah, that's where it is for me. Okay, I turned 34 on the 29th of September, so 28 days from now, and I still have 85 minus 34. I still have a good 50 to 55 years in me before I'm finally released from this mortal coil. Code 19 says, what heavy projects are you talking about? I had a list, a bucket list, to-do list of things that would be truly tremendous. Where are they? Pending projects to do, ongoing. I had a magical to-do list. I was going to things that I can still do, especially with my newly attained power that I was just referring to just now. I wanted to, for example, do something really extraordinary. Um, I already covered this on my article, on my website and on my YouTube channel. I wanted to change the weather and drastically, for example, making a change here in the shithole. 40 degrees on average, ridiculously hot, and making it snow, for example, dropping to sub-zero temperatures. That would be sick, but like I mentioned in the video, I think I'd kill 80% of the population in the process, but then potentially more. In any case, yeah, 80% of the population would die off, literally die off. And I'm sure of that. So if I were to drop have the temperature here drop from 40 degrees to 5 degrees or 1 degree, let alone negative 10 degrees with snow. No, all hell would break loose here. Again, but it requires something like that, obviously requires a tremendous amount of energy. A tremendous amount of energy. And the question is, do I want to do that? Again, I don't care about the vermin, about killing off the vermin, but it's just a waste of energy because what it would come down to would just be me saying, "Oh, that's so sick," and showing you guys, and as in, "Oh, look, I literally changed the weather. I turned everything upside down. I changed the weather to such a devastating extent." So no, I said to myself, it's just a waste of energy. Quote 19 says, "Yep, you do that in Suriname, 80% is gone." Yeah, 80% is gone, definitely. Other things that I wanted to do is I wanted to master time traveling. I already have the dormant ability to time travel. It just needs to be awakened and redefined. I mean, refined. Sorry. And I was planning on working with Chrono for that in the past. I had already started working with him, but I simply had to prioritize and I cut my work with him short. And I was planning on literally just traveling through every time period and bringing back artifacts that are irrefutable. Gordon 19 says you do that in Suriname, 80% gone. Yes, you've done a video about it. Kronos, yeah. Is it possible to time travel physically? Spinosaurus says, yes, it is possible. Years ago, someone, we're talking about when I was still a loser and shit. Someone told me, someone really well developed, someone that was psychic, and someone that also did readings and so on, told me that you have the ability to time travel. At some point in your life, you'll master it. And I confirmed that for myself. I think I confirmed that for myself 2 to 3 years ago. I think on whether that was actually true, and yeah, my own readings and my own research shows that it is. I do possess that ability. Konanatin says at some point in your life you'll master it. You did orary on it. Yes, orary and otherwise. And yeah, I because I do know my intuition already told me that I have the ability to time travel. For me, dreams like those deja vu like dreams in which I am propelled 20 years ahead or 20 years in the past, but more in the future. I get dreams like these regularly, and for me, they come easily to me. You know, they're like, "Oh, yeah, okay, so that's gonna happen in the future. Okay, I'll know it when the moment's actually there, and when it's there, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what I dreamt about." I also dreamt about hosting live streams. You know, before I even knew what live streams were, and I was like, huh? In a dream, I saw myself talking on a camera, and I was chatting with people that I did not know at all. I was talking about a topic that I'm not even knowledgeable on. You name it. And I said to myself, fine, when the moment comes in the future, I'll simply recognize it. And that's what I said it in a live stream, I think 1 or 2 live streams ago, that I remember that exact moment when I was chatting with a couple of you guys and David B and so on. And I said, hey, I dreamt about this exact thing, like what, when I was a teenager. No, maybe you time traveled right now from your future. No, it's possible to physically time travel, okay? To literally have your physical body disappear. So I was planning on it wasn't just about the money, but I was planning for one on making a lot of money by bringing back, valuable artifacts that no one else, without messing up any timeline or causing any disruptions, of course. Bringing back things for archaeologists and sell them at a ridiculously high price for millions, even to people, to people, historians and so on interested here. Things that no one can mimic or no counterfeit version can be created. I easily display my time traveling abilities to scientists. They could literally, I time travel in front of them, tell them to, okay, I'm gonna move now. Book. This is just an example, okay? That was also on my to-do list. Oh, And Kronos had already told me that, yeah, it will happen physically, because I thought to myself, realistically speaking, it might happen that your astral body will teleport into the future or the past or a different dimension, but your physical body remains in this one. Uh, but he told me, no, your physical body will also, it will happen in such a way that your physical body will also jump forward or backwards. So in any case, you as a whole will be able to time travel, which was a pleasant answer, of course. Spinosaurus says, a few nights ago I had a dream in which I had a girlfriend and I was meeting her so we can go on a plane, but I got scammed when she was 5 years old. That's a good one. She was 5 years old. Doesn't necessarily have to be a so-called deja vu dream. Very disappointing dream. Oh. Homer Simpson says, if I have the ability, I would travel to the multiverse, different worlds. Yeah, different dimensions. Krista Price says, I have deja vu constantly. If you say that it's that moment you change your reality, do you astral project? No. Code 19 says, in the level of occult mastery and similar ethics, how many occultists would be alive in this generation right now? What do you mean exactly, Code 19? What do you mean how many occultists would be alive exactly? Oh, and for people wondering why I'm not wearing any fedora, I just felt like taking a break from my fedoras. They're still right there. Just didn't feel like wearing a fedora this time. So yeah, it's been a good while since you guys have seen my hair, and let alone my hair just short the way it is now. Occultists similar to you, how many would be alive this generation? I don't know. I think I'm pretty much the only one of my kind. I mean, if there is another one, then yeah. If there is another one, then it's not in this time in any case. It's someone from an earlier time period, medieval times and so on. But yeah, it wasn't publicized back then. So yeah, people weren't able to publicize things back then, and things couldn't be confirmed. Not to the extent compared to today by today's standards. Krista Price says your hair looks nice. Thank you. Uh, yes, can't think of any other one. That's the reason I ask you. I know. The another thing that plays a part too is that I don't mind publishing my work to the entire world. I have nothing to hide. That's also why I said if I had mastered time traveling, I'd easily invite scientists to come and to literally film me frame by frame to see how I disappear and how I come back with an item and acknowledge or confirm the authenticity of said item, blah, blah, blah. Homer Simpson says, what happens if you teleport to space by accident? Now, when you time travel and teleportation, there is a thin line, but there's still a line, okay, between teleporting and time traveling. Teleporting just involves moving from one place to another without using anything like an airplane or anything like that. But of course, assuming that you've refined your abilities, you won't be hindered by, for example, time traveling to a point where you show up underwater or in space. So those boundaries will not be restricted upon you. You'll be free from physical death in that way. Oh, Krista Price says it's hard to time travel because the world is constantly turning, so it would be hard to come back to an exact moment. No, you can come back to an exact moment. Even freezing time temporarily is possible without causing any disruptions in time that will just disrupt any timeline whatsoever that God has set upon the world, or that God is basically um, that God is implementing into the world. Spinosaurus says, I would like to learn shapeshifting one day. Okay. Another thing that was on my to-do list, but that I stopped to when I said I'm done, it's been enough. I was working with Abaddon for inventing something groundbreaking. We're talking about inventing something similar to Isaac Newton or Nikola Tesla or Albert Einstein, you name it, something really, or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, something really groundbreaking. I had already started that, and I was working for what, a week, or not a week, a month. And that's when I shot the "I'm done" video, and I simply stopped all of my working. So I said to myself, "No, I'm done. Enough. Otherwise, it's never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. I'll just keep doing project after project after project after project. I've already done so much. I've already covered so much." Oh, code 19 says freeze time is temporarily possible from your own perception. Yes, it is. Code 19 says inventing something groundbreaking. Code 19 says those are some profound goals. Yes, they are. And let's see, the last thing that I have here on my to-do list was master finding missing people and items. That's also another thing that I had planned. I wanted to master the ability to find missing people, and I wanted to make a lot of money that way because there are still a good deal of murders and so on globally that are unsolved. Cases that are cold, decades have passed even, and I was simply planning on traveling to these locations, for example, the U.S., and just helping out the police by literally telling them, okay, person is buried here, person was killed here, bones are here, here you go. Person was killed by someone with this name, the killer is residing there, or he's either dead. This is the proof you need. Simply handing them these cases on a silver platter, if you will. That's what I also had in mind. Homer Simpson says freezing time would be useful in exam. Code 19 says you could do that from asking spirits, right? Yeah. Code 19 says Mourinho the occult detective. Yeah, thanks. I already started this goal prematurely. Back when I was still a beginner, I worked with Fasago as the first spirit because I wanted to test to see if Fasago's attributes in the Goichi were true, that he's masters in finding missing items and people. But that didn't work out, obviously, needlessly to say. I need to point out that all of these goals that I have mentioned are ridiculously hard to accomplish, okay? Very few individuals in their life are capable of accomplishing any of these goals. So you can imagine how much spiritual energy is needed or needs to be generated in order to even come close to anything that resembles a result. Spinosaurus says, don't tell the police that I smoke weed. Christopher Price says, what do you think happened to all the people who disappear without a trace? That's way too general, okay? That doesn't mean it all depends on the individual. There are so many things. I was already busy working on it. I had cases set aside, I think 8 cases. And um in one of the cases, it was about a little girl that was murdered, that was raped and murdered, and they dumped her body in a river. That's what my findings, along with someone else that I worked back then, her findings were a so-called seer, not so-called, a seer basically. But again, you need to go about this in a practical way. I mean, you need to really be able to hand the police everything on a silver platter, otherwise they're not going to believe you. And they're just going to think that you're some wannabe psychic that simply wants to cash in on the reward that's being issued. And that was the case because I had already called and spoke to an officer, and he simply asked me whether if I was a psychic. And I could tell, and I understand their vantage point completely. They're not going to go on some wild goose chase and so on. So you really need to have everything sorted out, and you really need to be sure of yourself. Otherwise, things won't pan out. So yeah, it's not just about the ability. You really need to have all your ducks in a row, to say the least, before attempting something like this, and then you can take it from there. But regardless, it's a shitload of energy. We're talking about this is literally years worth of energy that you need to give a spirit in order to accomplish something like that. Code 19 says lots of spiritual energy is needed, generated to accomplish your bucket list. First case, why did the Indian cab driver cry? How much is that the person that told you what time will time travel in the future? Did he master time travel? No, no. That person was simply someone we swap readings. That person was also very good, highly clairvoyant, was a woman. And I told her, hey, let's just swap readings. I give you an astrological reading and you simply give me a reading. The person was like an FBI profiler, a psychic profiler, but very highly ranked and so on, but also very clandestine, very hidden, very secretive. And I simply took a picture of myself. She said she needed a recent picture, and I took a picture of myself and I sent it to her, and that's how profilers work, psychic profilers. They look at a picture and they can tell you details about that person and his or her activities. The surprise us, there were a bunch of kids who disappeared in Colorado and showed up in different places with no way they could have made it that far on foot. Yeah, it's possible that they simply teleported. There were portals, astral portals that led to several locations. None. Someone new that I haven't seen yet says, "What's wrong with Kurt Cobain?" Kurt Cobain killed himself. Case in point. That says enough. What's up with Kurt's pick on the thumbnail? I didn't even know that. Did I put Kurt Cobain as a thingy on it as a thumbnail? I didn't even pay attention. I'm not gonna lie, because it's just an obscured image. I didn't even recognize. I don't know if that is Kurt Cobain, but if you're seeing it, then you've got good eyes. But I didn't pay attention to it. I just took any miscellaneous thingy. I think any miscellaneous picture. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is Kurt Cobain, but very obscure. Yeah, you recognize his hair and his the way he dressed. Yeah, doesn't matter. Morino, I live in Turkey. It's really hard here. I can imagine. Code 19 says, "Is that the woman with a strong Pisces placement?" What woman with a strong Pisces placement? Oh, you're talking about the bitch. The manipulative bitch. No, no, don't make me laugh. The manipulative bitch. I don't want to be an asshole, but no. No, it wasn't the bitch in any case. It wasn't the bitch. We're talking about this was years ago. Years ago. Code 19 says the woman who is super psychic who worked for the government, your Facebook friend. Facebook friend? No. Oh, yeah. This was a woman that I was friends with on Facebook. She was in the group that I managed years ago. Back then, I managed a group called Ceremonial Magic. But I left that group and I simply founded my own group. Hmm I founded my own group because I simply got sick of the administrator. It was an annoying woman. None says, can you give advice to start in the occult, direct and clear books or videos? It's hard to practice in my country. Yes, I'll give you advice. Go through my website and go through my YouTube channel. Code 19 says, so that woman told you by looking at your photo? Yes. This was years ago. This was really years ago. 2012 or something. Oh, and yeah, that's pretty much it. To be honest, I have nothing else to discuss, guys, in terms of topics or ladies and gentlemen. I really have nothing else to discuss in terms of topics. I've already discussed rock music and its negative connotations or its negativities as a whole from a neutral perspective as well as an occult perspective and one's state of mind reflecting one's interests. And I've also spoken about other miscellaneous things such as my plans for the future and the fact that I am a bit torn. For now, I'm still done. Everything stays the way it is, and I don't intend on picking up any new projects. But it's like these projects are enticing me and keep telling me, come on, just do us, just perform us. Okay. It's like these projects are enticing me to actually perform them. But at the same time, I don't want to keep going and going and going. Okay. And in the near future, in a month or so, I'll also be in a month or so. Yeah, let's just say in a month from now. In any case, at the end of this year, at the longest, at the end of this year, I will be publishing another article on my next and final stage of ascendance, self ascendance. For me, it will get no better than it will not become any better concept wise than this project that I'm referring to. I don't want to say anything right now, but this will truly be my magnum opus. This will be the absolute pinnacle of my occult career. Something that pretty much will give me access to unlimited or limitless power. Uh, Natin says it sounds so fascinating for the first time to hear about this kind of stuff. Later it becomes normal. Quote 19 says just like an old iPhone model. Spinosaurus says, is it possible to become physically immortal? Like you don't die from old age, but you die if you get shot? Yes, and it's also possible to become immortal to the point where you're not able to die from any physical object, where no physical object can hurt you or harm you. Kudan says everything stays the way it is, no new projects, enticing projects. None says I tried, but I couldn't contact with Samael in many ways. Do you have any advices? I watch every video of yours. No. If you want to learn how to master the occult, depending on what your ambitions are, then just again go through my website, okay? My courses, just buy my courses, and those will teach you how to master. But I would advise you, assuming that you follow the Islamic faith, that you need to get your ducks in a row in terms of religion. Uh, Omar Simpson says, "Can the angel Anael tell how your crush feels about you?" Yes. Why? Spinosaurus says, "I know, but I was just wondering." Yeah. No, you know. Oh, you're talking to Code 19. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Being physically immortal is a curse, FYI. Yes, of course it is. Thank you, Murino Monanan says, I'm not Muslim, by the way. Thanks so much for the answers. Okay. Hey, then that's regardless. Okay, you still need to ask yourself exactly what it is that you want, whether you follow Christianity, truly follow Christianity or not, because religious conflict is sensed within you. Someone else has he senses religious conflict within you that you're not sure of yourself, religiously speaking. Oh, 19 says new haircut, there is change. Hmm. What are you talking about, Code 19? New haircut, there is change. So yeah, that's it. The rest of the streams rely solely upon how vocal you guys are or how verbal you are in the chat bar. If I don't get any answers or if I don't hear anything from anyone, then I'm pretty much done. Oh, Quote Nanakin is laughing. Ha ha ha. Panasura says, what was your craziest dream? Craziest as in intense or dream as in craziest dream as in the most occult dream? Specify or elaborate, please. Oh. Oh, 19 says Nike today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You basically got nothing to do, so you're just eyeing me right now. You're just looking at me. You're looking at all of my stuff in detail, what I'm wearing, etc. No. Spinosaurus says like weird and intense stuff happening in the dream itself. You mean, right? None says, well, I think I have religious conflict, like you said. I was Muslim before, I guess, and it's kind of hard to break it. Yeah, so you need to sort that out first. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems. That's also one of the main reasons why you can't connect with someone. That's what he says. Spinosaurus says yes. Quote 19 says, any updates on the crying cab driver? Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Thanks for reminding me, okay? Because I missed your question. There were too many other questions distracting me. I saw that question. Ah, Spinosaurus. Um, Weird and intense stuff happening. No, like I said, the dream that Anael gave me is the only dream about that a crush that I had back in the day. She's the only one that that's the that's the that has to be the most intense dream I've ever had. None says I can invoke or evoke any beings. What's up with that? Listen, like I told you, okay, for the last time, it's because of your religious conflict. You're internally struggling to align yourself with any religion, not knowing what you want exactly. So you need to pick a side. Okay, are you Muslim? Are you Christian? What are you exactly? That's the reason, the main reason for not being able to find a proper grip on any occult study. Quote 19 says, any updates from the Quran? What am I rereading your stuff? Huh? I'm getting fucking confused. In any case, yeah. No, I'm done with the crank cab driver. I mean, he's just, uh-uh. I do not like Indians. I don't like anyone, but yeah, I do not like Indians. I also said to myself, nah, don't befriend any Indians, okay? I'm not dissing any Indians, any Indians that are watching this, especially you, Code 919. But nah, I mean, the thing that happened with him, the misfortunate matter that took place with him, I already said to myself, the last time that I'm getting involved with an Indian, we're talking about on a friendship like level or similar, all they fucking care about is money, like vermin. All they care about is money. I think if I even asked him to bend over, he would bend over. Seriously, if I told him, "Let me fuck you in the ass, I'll give you $500," he would do so. Oh, none says I can invoke or even. See, I'm fucking confused. None says thanks for the help, Mourinho. It really matters to me. I sure no problem. Cool. None says I know what you mean. Good that you know what I mean. Nah, this is the case with Indians globally. Okay, they're not the only ones. It's not like the Negroes and whatnot are any better. But nah, with Indians, it's all about the money, and I don't want their stinking vermin asses near me. Spinosaurus says, for how much money would he bend over for? Let's just say $500, just as an example. If I told him, listen, let me fuck you in the ass, okay, bend over for $500. There is a realistic possibility of him doing so. Quote 19 says $500 is too much. I agree. $500 is too much. He just needs rice and some meat. Don't forget the curry. He needs some curry masala to add more flavor to it all. And besides, I wouldn't want his stinking ass. Ugh. Hmm. Code 19 is laughing. Ah. Gregory M has also seen the stream, but he is otherwise occupied or he's just watching and remaining quiet in the background. Uh, Spinosaurus is asking me whether I know how to swim. Do you know how to swim? Yes. Why? I know how to swim. Gregorium says yes, indeed. Yeah. So you were keeping yourself in the background, Gregorium. I thought so. Hmm. Oh, Nanantine says I'm experiencing shit here in India, just like Surinamese people watching your streams as an escape from these people. Yeah. Spinosaurus says my sister learned how to swim by someone throwing her in a deep pool. Yeah, but be advised that that tactic does not always work. I simply did things the traditional way. I learned how to swim from a swimming instructor and the story. But that is dangerous. I remember I saw someone doing it one time too with a child, and the child just lost his mind. Jason Dunn says, "Hi, bro. Hello, Jason." Child just lost his mind. I mean, I remember the swimming instructor threw that child, and that child just went nuts. And immediately started trying, immediately learned how to swim, but forgot how to, forgot to look, forgot to look where he's going, and he just hit his head really hard against one of the tiles that made up the side of the swimming pool. Bam! Code 19 says, I wish someone throws me in an orgy and I don't know how to fuck. That's a good one. That's funny. Hmm. No, I understand. Some people, what Spinosaurus is getting at, some people just need to learn things the hard way. Uh, so yeah. None says, do you believe demiurge stuff? What demiurge stuff exactly? Oh. So yeah, we're nearing an hour and a half of the stream. So can anyone have any other questions? Any other questions whatsoever? Quote 19 says, how is the day going? Like I said in the beginning, the day's going just fine. It's 10:42 currently in my location. And I don't really have anything else. I'm gonna have curtains. Nothing new with for me. What did you eat? I didn't. Oh, wait a minute. I ate some sweet and sour chicken that I bought last night at a restaurant. I'm gonna have curtains placed for my windows so that they can block the sunlight or prevent sunlight from coming in, and also keep the room as cool as possible at the same time, because man, my air conditioner is not doing it. If it's 40 degrees outside, then it's 33 degrees inside, and I can't sit in a room with 33 degree temperature. uh and it's also going to account for downstairs. uh Nanan says the humans are in a deep sleep state and so-called God harvesting energy. What? Mankind being in a deep sleep, and a God is harvesting energy from human beings? Seriously? Spinosaurus says, is there a ritual to make mosquitoes avoid you? Seriously? Mosquitoes? That's a good one. A ritual for making mosquitoes avoid you. You do know what insect repellent is, right? Sweet and sour chicken, is it good? Yeah, sweet and sour chicken is good. Coke Nana teaches one of your windows is under repair, right? No, 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 no. I already had those windows downstairs replaced in the guest room. The guest room's already busy being built up. Jason Dunn is laughing. Yeah, but sometimes I forget it. You forget things sometimes. Insect repellent. Bring some insect mosquito cream with you, and we're done. No ritual needed for that. That's a good one. Oh, none says you haven't heard of that stuff. Um, no, be honest, not. The demiurge refers to something else entirely. So I don't think you're using that phrase accurately, but or you're not describing it accurately. But I didn't hear about anything relating to mankind's energy being harvested by God. Hmm. Some occult guy claimed that statement of demiurge. Let me link it to you. No, it's okay. It's not necessary. I'm not interested in reading bullshit. Jason Dunn says, I've heard a lot, but reality is so far removed from these notions. There are a lot of occult guys. You gotta ask some legit ones. Homer Simpson says, "How much would it cost for buying the occult PDF alone?" Jason Dunn says, "Typo by default is off." Homer Simpson, how much would it cost for buying the occult PDF alone? So you mean for just buying for just buying the occult book that I have? That's not gonna work. It comes with the rest of the course. I'm assuming that based on your answer that what you told me in the past, you saving up is not working out for you in order to buy one of these courses of mine. Nandan says, yeah, I could really use some channel recommendations. Homer Simpson says, yes. Jason Dunn says, do the work slash hashtag occult and the energetic benefits are off the charts. I've never felt so alive. Jason Dunn. Yeah, I'm sorry, Homer Simpson, but that's just too bad. But nah, I can't. I can. My prices are pretty much fixed. I can't. I can't sell anything for you at the low price of $100, aside from just the basic natal chart and so on. If you're all in, you simply need to see to it that you can afford me. You know, in whichever way possible. Not that I'm condoning you doing anything illegally. I don't want you to do anything messed up or anything shitty in order to be able to afford me. Code 19 says Homer Simpson seems badly in need to buy your occult program. We understand you're paying Homer. Mm. Yeah, I still remember him mentioning it in the live stream where I was on my balcony. Still remember it. Homer Simpson says thanks. Mm, yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. I just hope the rest of the day stays so cool, but to be realistic, I don't think that's gonna be the case. Okay, Google, current temperature.
In Danu Grand, it's currently 31 degrees Celsius. Due to the current humidity, it feels like it's 36.
36. It's clear skies. Sundays are usually beautiful with clear skies and everything. Hmm. Spinosaurus says in Romania, the days are very hot and the nights are very cold. The last couple of weeks. Yeah, that's because Europe is being hit by a heat wave. Code 19 says 36 is pretty good. No, it's not. I want 20 and lower. I want 15, not 36, damn it. So yeah, in my bedroom right now, it's like what, 20, let's see. In my bedroom right now, it's like 26 degrees or something. And even that's way too warm. It's just, Conan says, what's next, Morino? Planning any major changes in your life? Aside from what I told you, no. Aside from what I told you, no. I've already told you there's one major change coming that will simply be, ooh, the change of all changes, and then I'm done. That will be it. Jason Dunn says too much. I worked last week in 33 and I was whacked out. Yeah, way too much. Okay. If I go outside right now, it's going to be like 40 degrees outside. Code 919 says Cairo. You'll see for yourself. Gregory says, what about the mainstream book project? The book that I've written is included in my occult e-course. That's it. That's the book that I wrote. And it's simply part of the whole e-occult course thing. Jason Dunn says, physically, my astral body feels like an electric powerhouse. Yeah, I know. You're gonna feel it specifically astrally. Gregory says, okay. Spinosaurus says you should make rain in the Amazon so that it does not burn anymore. No, not gonna lie, that's not my job, nor is it my problem, so to speak. I want to contribute to the rainforest, but not to such an extent. Homer Simpson says, how much would it cost for one orrery chart? I think you can afford that. One orrery chart would be $100. Code 19 says the book that is included in the occult e-course, even if the book is sold for lower price, it's connected to the occult video course. I think that's the reason Moreno isn't selling it separately. Yeah, so basically, again, the videos are the video version of the book, and the book is literally the written down version. Okay, it's the scribed version of the video, and they simply come together. I'm not going to sell them separately because the book doesn't have enough content in order to be a standalone book. Once I removed all the baggage, I was left with what, 2 pages? So it's not feasible to sell it just like that. Gregorian says, yeah, I got that. Yeah, it's not feasible to sell it. It's not doable to sell it separately. Otherwise, you just have 1 page or 2 pages, and that was it. Quote 19 says, what are you thinking about? Nothing really, aside from looking at the ceiling. No, I'm looking outside right now, but I'm just looking at clear blue skies, etc. And I'm not thinking about anything specifically. I just, um, I just, I don't know. I might go out. Nice, beautiful, sunny day. Yes, it is a nice, beautiful, sunny day. Code 919. Oh, hold on. Let me just call someone. Hmm? Code 919 says kids went to school. No, I think it's vacation. I think they're on vacation. It's vacation time, so usually vacation is from August till October or something along those lines. So you're off of school then. But honestly, I don't give a shit about the children. Okay, I don't care about the vermin children. For the rest, yeah, everything is relaxed. No complaints. Code 19 says maybe play with them. You keep mentioning, you keep bringing that up. Okay, playing with kids. No, 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 no. I don't want vermin near me. I don't want vermin children near me. So yeah, You're laughing right now. So in any case, I don't know. Quote 19 says, where are you heading to after the stream? That's a question. I don't think I'm heading anywhere. If I do head somewhere, then it's assuming that the person that I tried to call is picking up. But the thing is that that person isn't picking up his phone right now for whatever reason. So we'll see. But he needs to pick up his phone. I've made that clear. Quote 19 says, so you're going all alone? No. So yeah, I don't think I'm heading anywhere. Today's just gonna be a relaxed Sunday. I'm just taking it easy, and honestly, there's nowhere else I wanna go or can go even. I've already been everywhere here. There's literally nowhere else I can go to. Quote 19 says Netflix and chill. More like YouTube and chill. Yeah, YouTube and chill. I think I might binge watch um a couple of playlists on YouTube that I haven't watched yet or that I like so much that I'm just gonna rewatch them while I lie on my freaking bed. Oh yeah, Kotna 19 says own it and chill. No, usually when I play own it, it's in the background. Okay, since I don't need the screen and I just need to hear the conversation, the call itself. Um, so yeah, I mean, if no one has any other questions, almost 2 hours. If no one has any other questions, then I'm going to call it a stream, of course. Not a lot else to say. Spinosaurus says, once I was playing with my friends and an old guy with a hammer started chasing us. Quote Nanantin says, hey, Morino, take a look at Mind and Magic and channel. Reminding again to you about their Gumroad course so you can post your own. Oh, yeah, I looked into Gumroad. I'm not interested in Gumroad. Gumroad isn't appealing to me whatsoever. I'm on it right now, and honestly, the first thing that comes to mind when watching it is, full of shit. What a crock of shit. That's what comes to mind. Let me see for the rest on my website right now. For the rest, there's nothing new. Mm. Someone in Dutch Googled how to summon an angel, and that person was led to my website, I think. Although I have no idea how that person ended up on my website since I don't see my website listed anywhere. Most likely via a video, but I'm also not seeing anything. So yeah, I have no idea how that person found my channel by googling how to summon an angel in Dutch. Mm, quiet day for the rest. Code 19 says, yeah, looks like a startup. Take a look at Mind and Magic channel. Good content in there. He's a ceremonial magician. No, like I said, I literally just looked it up and I was on the Mind and Magic page that you referred to. And the first thing that comes to mind is full of shit. That's the first thing that comes to mind. The entire website gives off kind of like a scammy vibe. No. Spinosaurus says, were physical dragons real in the past? Yeah, similar to dinosaurs, but they died out relatively quick. They died out relatively quick, close to close to the Middle Ages. That's it. Conan thinks us in this world of infinite possibilities, everything is possible. If you say so, yes, everything is possible. Homer Simpson says, how fast can Anael tell how one's crush feels about the person? You already asked me that question. The answer was yes, Anel can help you. Or you asked whether Anel can help you and how fast. It all depends on the situation. It all depends on the situation. Hmm. Code 19 says, why do you want to know if one's crush feels about the person? Don't you want to know about your own crush? I I honestly don't know what to make of this conversation. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what to make of this conversation. No idea whatsoever. Morino, what are your relationship plans? What do you mean relationship plans? I don't have any relationship plans. Mm. Conan since just want to be a pimp. No, I don't intend on becoming a pimp. I just have no relationship plans, to be honest. Definitely not in my location unless I want to. But for the rest, it's very complicated. But in any case, no, I'm not too big on finding someone or looking for someone. No, I don't need any of that. I mean, if someone comes my way and that person is worth my time romantically, then yeah. If not, then no. Never mind. Uh, Gregory M says, is it possible to use Enochian magic without all the objects and ceremonial? Yes, it is possible in Enochian. The only thing that you'd have to do is work with Enochian spirits. I already covered it. Um, Spinosaurus says, well, what a coincidence. My mom just called and asked me to what college I want to go, and I told her that I'll tell her about the business idea. Code 19 says, nothing is a coincidence in this world. Code 19 says, how do you fulfill your sexual urges in that shithole Suriname? I don't. Again, you can't pluck any feathers from a chicken that's bald. Spinosaurus says, I meant synchronicity. Yeah, that's an awesome synchronicity. Okay. If someone is incapable of asking me a really serious question in 10 seconds, then I'm gonna close off the stream. Omar Simpson says, I think you misunderstood because of my bad English. What surprises you, Mourinho occult wise? Nothing surprises me. So yeah, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No one has any other questions, so fine. Gregory says, thanks, Mourinho. Bye, guys. Have a nice day. Yeah, bye to all of you out there, too. Oh, Nana teachers, how many ears do you have? You're really full of shit. Bye. I'll see you guys later.